And folks, if you just catching up with us next week, our level up committee meets, and we're going to be finalizing some points and setting up our registration and everything else, and that's going to be coming home. And this is we're right in our sixth year of worldwide wood turnings, and we're really clicking along. Somebody the other day asked me how we get this done and that done and other things done, and what's our financial status. I am so I am so happy to have somebody ask me, how's all that
Broke as
work?
hell.
Yeah, because I get to tell them we started out with a dollar and we got 90 cents left. We, it's just that we get together and get things done, and that's the beauty of what we do. We get together and we get things done. And when you look at what we get done, level up is one. Um, I talked to a guy, Bobby from Blythefield, Arkansas, and Bobby was stationed at that Air Force base up there, and he just bought uh, a jet mini lathe, and he was having some problems with alignment. And I told him how to fix the alignment between the sensors, and he was amazed how easy it would be. But he said, if you ask somebody at the place to tell you you can't do that, it's you have to get another lathe or whatever. But we're talking. He said, "Where's all this information at?" And I said, "Worldwidewoodturners.org. We have a treasure trove of things on there. All these articles, all this information, all these access to parts and pieces because people find them and they want to share them and they put them there." And he says, "Okay, how much do I pay for this?" That's what I love about them. First, everybody thinks you need to pay to be a friend and to share information, and you don't. Just share the information. Just now, you saw Scott share information to Andy on how to fix a leak, and another one to JJ. That's what we do. So if you've got a secret, a tip, a trick, an idea, come on, get it out there. Want to know what it is? Share it. We started this with that idea. If you are sitting at your house and don't know what to do, ask a question. We will find you. We will get you an answer. Might not be a great one. Might not be the one you want to hear. Might be the dumbest thing you'll ever hear. But we're working on it. It's a lot better off than you are not knowing. Uh,
Exactly.
and, and we come up with some great ideas. And the people we have here are world class. And when I was talking to the guy Bobby, he said I was telling him about level up, and I had to get off the phone with him because I had him on the phone for 20 minutes talking about level up. He got me lit up. I mean, I was rocking and rolling. My wife was watching me from across the den. She's thinking, "What are you doing? What are you selling this guy something?" And I said, "No, no. Let me tell you, Bobby. We got people coming that'll teach and train you and be there." And he says, "Well, do you have uh, Bob this and David that and Ken this?" I said, "No, no, no. We don't have those people. We have real wood turners. We have people that are just like ordinary wood turners that come in that turn every day and they do it for fun. They do it for hobby. They do it to take at the craft shows. They do it to make money on the side. They do it for entertainment. They do it because it's love in their heart. And they'll come and share that with you. They're not doing it because they're going to make a buck off you. None of these people are going to get paid to make a buck off you. So if you come there, you're going to get secrets out of them. And right there, you can put the tool in your hand and try it. You can't do that at the big boy meetings. That's not permitted. You can't play like that at the big boy meetings. But at level up, you can do it. That's what's going on here. So we've put a lot of things together in the last 6 years, folks. You got to be proud of it. And guess what? We're not done. If you have an idea, folks, if you have a slight idea of something else we can do, we want to know about it. That's what we want to know. No matter what it is, talk to us about it. The door is open. It's always been open, always will be open. It's the way we got to click. So who's been turning this week? Come on.
Let's see. I don't know. Matt, who we got up? I think it's somebody, one of the guys that's got a name that starts with a D.
Yep. Well, we got a lot of
D.
we got a lot of suspects. We got a lot of
Grandpa.
Yes,
suspects.
we do. There's a
We're
usual
gonna start with
suspect.
Dave.
I'm a suspect,
Yep.
huh?
Grandpa's in the house.
Well, I managed to get a couple of maple pieces done.
That's pretty. I like that
That's
edge.
great.
I like that flute edge.
I'm trying to get some different shapes.
Yeah.
And then
How
this
thin is
morning,
the walls on it? 3/8.
oh no, just over a quarter inch, maybe 5/16.
Okay. Looks good. Looks thin.
And
So
then
what's
this
your
one,
thinking on the first shape? Why did you choose that shape?
this one.
Yep.
Well, I've been playing with the whole flare thing lately, and I didn't quite. I wanted it to float, so that it's got this little bevel here, so that it sort of floats above the table.
A little
Okay.
lift. Okay.
And then, other than that, trying to concentrate more on getting things a little bit thinner than I have been.
Gotcha.
But that was my rationale.
Well, the flare out gives it a light look.
I actually like the bugle mouth.
Yes, and this one's pretty much the same thing. Haven't finished the bottom yet.
That's nice.
But this one is done in Cornuba wax, and this one's done on good old Howard's Feed and Wax,
Yeah.
because it has a crack. Let's see if I can find it right here. And I really didn't want to put a lot of pressure on it trying to buff that hard Cornuba wax.
That's
I
I like
did
the,
wood.
I like
I did
the
see
I like the transitions where you're in the curves to the flats. I like those transitions. They're
Oh,
really-
thank you.
Yeah. Nice shape. Pretty chunk of wood.
I'm trying to do better. But little one's in preschool a couple days a week now, so it gives me a little bit more time. Although I've spent all of Saturday on the bandsaw, which brings me to a question: is there going to be anything on the bandsaw at Level Up?
We can always put something in after dinner.
Do
Well,
what, Dave?
Some tricks and tips on the bandsaw kind of deal.
Maybe.
Like I'm not even sure how to tension it properly, or if I am tensioning it properly.
Oh,
That sort of
okay.
stuff. Because the
a
only wood
really
shop
good
I've
video-
ever been in is mine.
A really good
Okay.
resource online is Alex Snodgrass. He's like Mr. Bandsaw, and I'd look up his videos. He's got some really good
Yeah, he's-
videos on
Yeah, Alex
how to
is
tune your
He's the
how to
man.
tune your bandsaw. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Watch
pretty
it.
hard to feel
But-
a blade on
right, but some
on a video.
hands-on. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
watch
he
all
also
of them,
talks-
Dave.
We should have a bandsaw. I don't see, one way or another, we should have one. We're still working on getting a commitment on a bandsaw, but yeah, I believe that would be something that would be worthwhile for folks. Yes, we can do that,
Yeah,
Dave.
I know that I've seen an online video from Alex Snodgrass where he talks specifically about how to tension the bandsaw and what the tension should be like. So I would look that up. That's a great place to
Yeah,
start.
I've watched a few.
Okay.
There's
I'm not sure
also a
about
device.
what the names were at this, but
There's also a device. It's a 3D printed device. It's magnetic called the Easy Tension, and I believe the website is easytension.com. You set the width of your blade on the device. I'll run out to the shop and grab it and show it. But you stick it to your blade, you tighten the blade, and as soon as one side pops free, the blade is at tension. And this thing is spot on. It is dead accurate. I'll run up to the shop and grab it so I can show it here in a minute.
cool.
Sounds great.
And you,
I
get
will-
that- and you
Well,
only
thanks,
get that
Dave.
here.
Oh,
There you go.
There's the big D.
who's that
We're
handsome
going to
fella?
you, and we're going to you, Dewey.
Who's that handsome fella I see?
Not me.
Still looking. Where?
I started
Where?
something. I started something. This is a pear. I'm going to do some stuff to it.
Look at that.
That's
And
a coffee
got it.
cup.
I turned it pretty thin, but
Mm-hmm.
then this happened. So I've
Uh-oh.
got to do something
That's
with
amazing.
that. Got to do something with that. But anyway, I got it fairly thin. It's about, I don't know, maybe 3/32 here, and it gets a little thicker as it goes on down. But we got it thinner, but once it started getting thin and a crack started coming up, it started doing that.
Yeah.
And I decided I better not do anything. I tried to do sanding. I did a lot of sanding on it, and I finally got it down to a reasonable thickness to do what I want to do with it. But more to come on that. But I got to get that. I fixed this up here a little bit. I put some UV activated resin in it, and it did a pretty good. But it was, this crack wasn't there till today. So I've got to go in and fill this crack in. I'm going to use that UV resin. I'm going to put tape on the backside, put UV resin in it, and fill that crack in, and then I'll be able to do some work on it. But
Are you going to pierce that thing?
excuse me?
Are you going to pierce that thing?
I am.
I thought so.
I am.
Yeah.
I've got to stay up with Howard. That's I can't get behind Howard. Howard, so
Oh yeah, you two are
I
awesome.
think we're all behind Howard, Dewey.
anyway, we'll work some more on that this week and next. So anyway, that's me.
Sweet. Thanks, Dewey.
Nice.
Next up is Ruby. What you got, Ruby?
Okay, I just have a simple bowl. It's a 10-inch piece of rosewood, but the green in it was spectacular.
It is spectacular.
Yes,
So it was at the wood mill, and it was an end cut they were throwing away. So of course I grabbed it out of the firewood bin, and I filled in the crack here with some epoxy that was colored, and it turned out to be just a nice little bowl.
Yeah,
Very
That's
nice.
gorgeous.
pretty. Yeah.
That's
That's a
really
natural.
pretty.
Great.
Is that the natural color, Ruby, on that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty.
Wow.
Beautiful.
So
Nice
anyway,
job.
that's
really
it.
like
That's
that,
it for
Ruby.
me.
Nice job as
Gorgeous.
usual.
Absolutely
Thank you.
beautiful.
Cool.
Gorgeous firewood.
Ruby, when you going to do the demo on the woodpecker?
I'd have to find where all my cameras are hidden away right now.
I'm going to harass you until you do that.
All right, hey JJ, we're going to go to you real quick to see the easy tension.
Okay, so this is the easy tension, and basically it's a seesaw. There's magnets on either side, a little screw in the middle, and in the back you've got these little gauges, and you set it whatever your saw width is. It's printed on the gauge. You set it there. There's a little Allen wrench in the end so that you can set the depth of the screw. And then you just stick it. There's an arrow on the back here. You stick it with the arrow up on your saw blade. And as you tension it, as soon as it hits the right tension, one side or the other will pop loose. It just goes bong, and that's the tension. And
could you explain again the gap gauge you got there?
So here in the back, there are a couple of gap gauges. So this is set right now for
Hold it up
Hang on.
after you pick it up.
It shows the can you see the sizes?
No,
That's fine.
not clearly.
That's the
All right,
size
well,
of the
so it's-
blade, right?
3/4 and 5/8
yeah.
here.
Right.
So if you've got a 3/4 inch blade, 3/4 on the bottom, you're going to set it over here, and then you'll tighten or loosen this little screw. So that's actually, it's set right now for a 3/4 inch blade, which is what I have in my bandsaw. Then on the loose blade, you just stick it to the side of the blade, pull the fence all the way, or the blade guard all the way up, stick it to the side of the blade, tighten it, and as soon as one side or the other pops loose, because it's a teeter-totter, your blade is at tension.
Okay, you put it to the side of the blade, right? Okay.
Yeah, on the side of on the side. So your blade's pointing towards you, teeth are towards you. Stick it to the side on the outside of the blade. And it literally, as it tightens, as soon as it gets to the right tension, it just goes pop, just like that.
How about that?
Very cool.
And it
Very
works
cool.
dead on. This is exactly on every time.
Very cool.
Pretty cool.
Thank you, JJ.
That screw,
Not
so that
expensive.
screw for the thickness of the blade, are you measuring the tip of the cutter, or are you measuring it through the gullet of the blade?
Neither.
No, neither. You take the blade width, whatever the blade width is.
The width. Okay, the width.
Yeah,
Got
it's
it.
printed. So this has got 5/8 on the top and 3/4 on the bottom. So that little distance right there is for 5/8. That's for 3/4. I've got a 3/4 inch blade on my saw. You can see it set to 3/4. So all you do is set that over there, take your little Allen wrench and just tighten it or loosen it to move that screw in or out, because that's the fulcrum of the lever. You just move that in or out until it hits that. And as soon as it touches it, that's the exact distance that you
I'm
want.
guessing the other side are for 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch.
1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, and 1/2 inch over here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And I think you can, or for smaller saws, I think you can get smaller gauges. I'm not 100% sure on that.
The link is in our chat right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
easytension.com.
I put a link in a while ago. It's $39.95 plus $5 shipping in the United States.
This is the best $40 I've ever spent. I will tell you right now. I have no worries about my saw being the right tension because of this.
Very cool.
It's magnetic, so you just stick it to the saw. You
Right.
don't lose it. And that's why it's this color too. You don't lose it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of orange things in the shop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Red,
Very
not
cool.
not so much. I lost the red cap to my bottle of Parfaits this morning in the sawdust. So.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, JJ.
Yeah.
Next up is Doug. What you got, Doug?
Okay. Funny thing, I wanted to show it, but I want to talk about it as well. It doesn't look like a whole lot. It's just a little ornament globe, piece of walnut that I had in a scrap box that I got. Came out pretty nice. The wood is pretty nice. Got some sapwood and some heartwood. But what I wanted to talk about was, and it almost falls into Sue, her stuff. The finial I had going for this was a piece of, I think the first one was hackberry, had some spalting in it, and some burl as well. And I decided I wanted it thinner at the bottom. It was just too thick. And so I had it on. In fact, I had it glued on to here, turning it. Everything was going well. And that booger snapped. So I redid it. And it snapped. I got a third piece of wood, a piece of maple burl, very, very burly. It would have been gorgeous. And it snapped. So I think I made the right decision. And y'all tell me what you might have done. But I turned the lathe off, shut the lights off, left. I got out of the shop. I didn't go back into the shop until I came to this meeting tonight. Not because I was really frustrated. It was just, I don't know, my touchy-feely wasn't working too good, and I was just breaking them. They weren't super thin. I've turned 6-inch finials that were 1/16 of an inch. I couldn't turn a finial last night. It saved my life. So, like I said, I just left. I just felt like that was the better part of valor, just to get out for a little while. And
I think you made the right decision, Doug.
Yep. I support that as well. I've done the same thing.
That's
And
what I do.
I would also suggest that you think about changing the wood to something more straight grained. It'll, burl's got a lot of different break points, so.
Yeah. I don't know why I was determined to turn burl last night for a finial of all things, but burl is beautiful, but not in a finial.
Well, you didn't turn any.
Yeah, I did. I did, but I broke them.
The universe telling you to get popcorn and watch a movie with the missus.
There you go.
That's
Actually, I
it.
went out and watched YouTube videos of other people turning.
Watch some videos on how to turn a finial, right?
Nobody was turning finials yesterday. Darn it.
You don't have to
Very
watch them
good. Thanks,
live. You
Doug.
can watch canned ones, you know.
That's true. That's true. Oh,
There's,
I
there's
was
always
watching
Steve.
canned ones.
There you go. There's always Steve Jones if you want to push yourself.
Yeah.
So
I watched Steve today. He's doing a series of skew lessons on YouTube, and I watched him today. Good stuff.
I saw those. I saw those.
You
Yep.
always watch Cindy Drozda if you want to see how to do finials.
That's true too. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks, Doug. That's a good lesson for all of us, I think. We're going to go to Pat next. What's up, Pat?
I don't know whether you want to see my mess or not. You skip right over me. That's all right. I got in the shop this weekend and did a little segment and turned some white oak mugs.
Very nice.
Nice.
I like those. What are you gonna put in them?
Anything, it don't matter.
And whatever you want, right?
What
The
do you use for a
inside,
finish inside?
it's food grade epoxy.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Beautiful.
That made some great coffee cups or beer steins.
Like the handles.
Oh,
Those
nice.
are gorgeous.
Yeah, they're good looking mugs.
Thanks.
Shot glasses, whichever you prefer.
Shot glass.
Whiskey shot glasses,
Yeah,
whatever.
shot glasses, right?
Nice little
shine
shots.
in that. Put some shine in there.
But that's it for me.
Sweet.
Nice,
Thanks,
Patrick.
Thanks,
Very nice.
Pat.
Thanks.
Next up is Sheila. What you got, Sheila?
Oh, I've got some live edge bowls that aren't quite done yet. Still have to get the tendon off of this one. This is that flowering Japanese almond that I got from a friend. It's really kind of pretty wood, but I need to work on my finishes.
It's beautiful.
And there's
Yeah.
another one of them.
You can see your
I've been
computer
trying to-
screen in them.
I've been trying to pick out all the crotch ones so to do the live edge bowls on. And then I've got one that's birch. It's got some pretty stuff on that side.
Yeah, it does.
I wasn't sure about live edge for birch. I figured it'd all peel off, but so far there's some staying on there.
Looks
And then
good,
I
Sheila.
started a little vase out of the almond stuff too, but no finish on it yet. Just some oil to try to get rid of the punkiness. Thanks, JJ.
Beautiful.
Very cool, Sheila.
Good, Sheila.
Thanks.
job, Sheila. Looks great.
Thank you. That's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you. Next up is Jason. What you got, Jason?
Well, I got just a simple little baby rattle made out of apple wood with boiled linseed oil on it. A friend of mine had a baby. Usually I just make the little barbell ones, but this time I stuck a longer handle on it. So that's what I've got. I've been doing mostly construction stuff lately. Addition for a bedroom on my property in Maine and a couple of decks and outdoor stairs for my girlfriend. So it was nice to be in the shop for a couple hours.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Very cool. Love the captured rings. Thanks, Jason. Next up is Mr. Duxbury.
Oh, that's me. That's me. I heard
It
that wood turner's supposed to turn their own pencil, so I turned my pencil this way.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Well done, James.
Parading around corners.
Yeah. It's really not that hard to do. On a faceplate of a lathe, you put a block of wood and you turn half a pencil. And when you part it off, you've got a whole ring of half a pencil. You cut it in half and put it together.
What do you use for the lead?
What?
What do you use for the lead?
What are you using for lead?
The lead just goes in a little
Graphite.
way. I take a regular pencil, break it apart, take the end off and use that. But the lead only goes in a little ways because I haven't figured out how to sharpen it yet either. So anyway.
Well, you got things that makes things go round, you know, and you got sharp tools, so that's how you sharpen it.
But then that wasn't good enough, so I made a
pencil holder,
pencil box for it.
Look at that.
Pencil. This is dovetailed. There's a dovetail in here, and the dovetail fits in here like this. The pencil was easy to make, but the dovetail was a bitch.
Hey, this is a piece of rosewood.
Like that.
That's amazing.
Look at that.
Anyway,
gorgeous.
I made a small platter.
and
It's
then
Jim.
what?
That's Jim.
How'd you make the dovetail?
What?
How'd you make the dovetail?
That's turned on the lathe too. It's a ring.
Right.
How did it go together? It went
Okay.
together
All
somehow.
right. Yeah.
Anyway, it's a ring that went together like this. And but it's
Okay.
dovetail on the end.
Right. Right.
And the dovetail fits into this.
Mad scientist, man. Mad scientist.
If you ever make one of these, make the pencil box first because it's easy to make the pencil to fit in the box. Just do the other way around, okay?
All right.
Just the precision you had to get those things to match up, the dovetails to match up. You know,
You got it. You got it. These are mahogany. Anyway.
Well, you're going to have to get into the pencil making business now.
You got it. Never mind. And you were talking about making the ball end mill cutters.
There you go.
I made this instead of drilling solid rod. This is a piece of 3/8 pipe. This is a coupling on the end that I've rethreaded. I threaded 1/2 inch 20, I think. It's a machine thread on here, and I rethreaded the coupling too. So this screws all the way on and jams and gives me enough meat to put in my set screws.
Nice.
Also,
Very cool.
on the end of this,
have you used it on the lathe yet, Jim?
yes, I like
Okay.
it. I like it, but if you can see on the end of this, there's only the depth of the flute. Oh, it isn't even a 32nd, I think. This is made to cut metal.
Mm-hmm.
So with about 2 minutes with a Dremel tool, I opened that up. So now I got a full 1/8 of an inch. Totally different cutter. This really works.
I bet it is. So what did that add when you opened up the flute?
It makes a deeper cut. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay, so will it still self drill?
Oh yeah, it does everything the other one did.
Okay.
And the nice part is you can use this part to hog it out and then roll it over and use this part, which is real fine, and clean it up.
That's exactly how I do it. Yep.
It works beautiful. So
explain the use of that, Jim, please. I mean, what's it used for? What do you use it for?
hollowing, or hollowing, or even bowl making or whatever. You can take a block of wood and stick this right in it and then work sideways and hollow it out. It's just
Yeah,
a
it
different
rides.
tool.
It rides on the bevel, and the flute is cut at a degree that automatically gives you a 45-degree cut. So you get an automatic shearing cut with the flute.
Pumpkin pie,
Yeah.
apple pie, and apple crisp.
Uh-oh.
Who's got the open mic?
Co-host. Come on now.
Oh.
I'll take
Anyway.
some cherry pie.
Anyway, yeah, once you use it, I have to use it more, but also this is M2 steel. So it lasts a long time. I think it said cobalt M2 steel or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's M2 steel. It does dull just like an M2 spindle gouge or a bowl gouge. So you can touch it up with a diamond hone. But I think my next one will be carbide, I think.
Yeah, they last a long time.
That's some of it. A lot of people were turning the rings, round rings, and I thought it'd be kind of neat to make a square one. So these are square rings now.
That is cool.
And they really work neat on some things.
Definitely evil genius.
Here's a bottle shopper with a cork bottle shopper with a square ring.
Cool.
And if
That's
you want
neat.
to know how it's cut, I have the special tool. It's hot off the press there. It's
A square ring cutter. I love it. That's great, Jim.
You got it. And it's absolutely square, top and bottom, ground. So this point cuts from the left or the right, and it's also sharp on the end, so that it'll cut to the end. But this is tapered in a touch, so it's actually cutting out here and relieved in the back. So you're actually cutting on the tip of the square there.
Yeah,
and also,
that's what I did with mine too.
You can see that that's not square, so that the handle can be off to the side, and this can be off to the side, and this goes square in. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes, very cool. Very, very cool.
Anyway, that's me.
Neat.
All right. Well, thank you very
Good
much,
job,
Jim.
Jim.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Jim.
Good fun stuff. Nice to see the tools. Next up is Tim, who has something that he was doing on last week, and he's got an update.
Oh, sure. Have me follow Jim Duxbury.
Somebody's got to do it. Might as well be you.
Hey, so this has been dyed with RIT dye. This is that pecan or pecan hollow form. Now, I went ahead and I put epoxy on the inside, and at a couple places where it decided it wanted to weep and seep through some fine hairline cracks that I didn't see before. So I had to sand it back, had to take all the finish off, all the stain off or dye off, and then re-dye it. So I just re-dyed it last night. It's only got like 2 coats of lacquer on it right now, but hopefully I'll be able to get that finished up. But great input from everybody as far as being able to still see the wood grain and everything instead of painting it, going with that red dye. So I appreciate everybody's input, and that's all I got.
Nice job, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Nice job, Tim.
Next up is Donna. What you got, Donna?
Hey, everybody. I'm finally
Hey, Donna.
back in my shop too a little bit. So I was asked to make an urn for a pet parrot. I'm making an urn for a pet parrot. This is just a mock finial that I made out of alder and spray painted I'm trying to figure out how to, what I'm going to do on top of it. So that's not the final width or anything like that.
That's lovely,
Yeah.
Donna.
Yeah.
What's the finish? What's your finish?
I don't have it's lacquer. I don't have a lot of experience with lacquer, so I think I got a little lucky. I was thinking of doing one more coat, but it's so nice that I'm stopping so I don't screw it up. So
Beautiful. Yeah.
That is gorgeous.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. That's really pretty.
Yeah. Did you use
Nicely
three
done.
different colors of dye? It has three colors. I see green, yellow,
I did. Well,
pink, red,
yeah.
orange. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's red, and then because this is yew wood and there's some sapwood on it,
Yeah.
it changed the blue to green, and so
It's
but
beautiful.
to try and give some color to it because of the parrot was colorful, so I thought that might kind of
Yeah.
help with that
No, it's
rather
beautiful.
than just
Well done.
Donna,
you.
tell them why it's so big.
oh. 'Cause she wanted some feathers. She has some feathers she wants to put in it, so it had to be wide enough so that it would fit some feathers.
I was going to say, you can get a lot of parrots in that.
Yeah, so hopefully.
Depends upon what type of parrot.
Beautiful.
Yeah, not a huge parrot, but big enough that and it's going to have a bag of the ashes are in a bag, so they're not just going to be in the urn. So I had to make the hole big enough to the bag. I can't believe I'm making it. Oh, thank you.
I certainly hope we get a picture of that put in our newsletter.
Yeah.
All right, when I finish it, I'll do that, because I didn't want to waste blackwood, so that's why I did it out of some alder, just to experiment a little bit. So I kind of get what I like, and then.
Beautiful.
Very nice, Donna. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is Brenda. What you got, Brenda?
I have a craft show coming up this weekend, so I wanted to make a couple more items. So I wanted to make a coffee scoop, right? So I made 2 coffee scoops. And when I went online to look up the video that Matt just did, I couldn't find him. So I found Johnny Hughes. Johnny Hughes did these for us a couple of years ago, and it was the same as Matt's. So I did the same thing. The cup itself, those are canary wood. This one is quilted maple. And this one is, I think it's Aruco, which I looked it up, and it's African teak. So nice. So
Those are nice.
they are. They are. All I got.
Nice job. Nice job, Brenda. How much do they hold now?
2 tablespoons. I measured
2
it.
tablespoons.
Yeah. 2 tablespoons. That's all I got. That's nice. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brenda. I just put my my coffee scoop video link to it in the
Yeah,
chat.
that's what I was looking at, but Johnny's come up on YouTube, so I'm like, okay, we'll go with Johnny.
Doesn't matter how you got there; those look great. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, I made a couple more this week. They're just not finished. Anyway, next up is Clayton. What you got, Clayton?
Hey, I have things to show and then something for everybody to laugh at me about. Maybe. So about a year ago, I started making this ingrain bowl that it got to warp and just kind of go kind of natural, and I put feet on it. It's actually kind of like a triple crotch, if that's even a phrase. But yeah, so this one kept from cracking only because I oiled it, I think, every day for a month. And
Oh my God.
in hindsight, I should have just let it crack. Second, has anybody ever used Nigerian satin wood?
No.
Because I cannot pronounce the other word that it's called. Movingwe? I don't know. I found this in a cutoff bin in a rockler at one point, and it is
Gorgeous.
yeah.
pearly. Like that's just the natural. There is a coat of Parfix and a small coat of wax on there, and it is unbelievable.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
So
Yeah,
I
it looks
really
good,
like the
Clayton.
shape. So I kind of lucked out with it.
Beautiful wood.
Okay, and so the last one, I made, I guess it's kind of a hollow form because it is a
Very
form and
hollow.
hollow. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it had all the voids all the way through, and so I was drilling the depth hole. Fun fact about a depth hole is if you take, like, I just have this drill, which is now this way, because if you hit into the bark and it starts to wander on its own, it can just wander on its own and it'll wander off. And so this part got me in the shoulder, this part got in the tool rest, and I think it's still usable. Maybe it can drill out for the lead in Jim's pencil.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, so
Harbor
little
Freight.
safety moment. I took a picture of it and sent it to my dad, and I said, "I've got something for show and tell on Wednesday." But yeah,
That's Harbor Freight, right?
actually, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
So
can
what's the
tell-
other name for it? Hazard Fraught. It's
You can
living
tell
up to
from
its
the
name.
bend.
Pretty much. But yeah, figured I'd share this with everybody so maybe you don't get what will hopefully turn into a really impressive action movie star kind of scar on my shoulder, because
Wow.
not fun otherwise without a good story.
Was you
Hey,
wearing
they
a
say
safety shield?
Yes. I don't know if you can see. Can you see this wrinkle and this wrinkle right here? That is from face shield band. It will not go away. I now have permanent wrinkles, and it is just because I'm
Me
being
too.
cautious. So that I don't mess up my face, I've now messed up my face.
There you go. Now I know what to blame mine on.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Me too.
Clay, did you say that
Thought
one
about
piece
that.
was Bobinga wood?
Mavingwe.
Oh, Movingue.
Yeah, I had to look it up. It was in the cutoff bin in Rockler, and where they charge by the weight. So there was no IDing it. That's my best guess, because it was kind of chippy instead of cutting smooth. Like the pores were bigger, and that's also the name that I landed on when I got tired of looking. So I'm calling it that.
Works for me.
That works.
But yeah,
Fancier than fogwood.
See, yeah, but this is fob wood because I found it in the bin.
Oh, okay.
And they still charge you for that. But yeah, that's what I had to show and tell.
Gorgeous work.
Yeah, they
Good
suck
job.
you in with that bend, don't they? It's only going to be a couple bucks a pound, and then it ends up being like $40 for a chunk of wood.
They put the densest wood in there on purpose. Yeah, absolutely. But
Sheila says she calls it moving guy.
Moving guy.
Yes,
That's what it is now. Yeah. Perfect.
I love it.
Hey, Clayton.
Okay.
Put a little maybe a little fluorescent paint on the inside, like black light paint, and so and that might give you kind of like a deep ocean cave scene or something.
Oh. Okay. I have.
I
Or you
wouldn't
could
change
put
a
a
thing.
Christmas theme in it.
Well,
I wouldn't
have,
change a
two
thing.
cutoffs that I was going to make just smaller boxes out of, and it'd at least be worth it to experiment because they're going to be smaller, and that piece is kind of ready to go.
I wouldn't change a thing, Clayton. I wouldn't add anything to it. It's spectacular as it is, and it will sell. Okay. So I worked with a guy early on in my turning career who made pieces similar, and he sold pieces just like that, running out the booth. So I wouldn't change
Thank
a
you
thing.
for that.
Yep.
I appreciate that, especially with Christmas art fairs coming up. That is especially encouraging to hear.
Yep. people love the cavities. They don't speak to everyone, but the people they do, they love them. So I just go with it as it is.
I appreciate that. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yep. Yep. Okay, great. Thanks.
Yep.
Let's see here. JJ's got something to show. What you got,
All right.
JJ?
I've been working on this since before knee surgery in July. I got half the bowls done before I got my knee replaced. This is spalted elm. It's from a tree that went down just on the other side of Greensboro out towards the Duxbury's place about 2 years ago. And this elm is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Is that real punky?
Gorgeous.
There's some punk in there. I had to pull out, we talked about this last week. I had to pull out every trick in the book to turn these bowls.
Yes.
This is matching shave brush. This is badger hair knot from shaveemporium.com. And you can buy the knots. And so these are all from the same tree, from the same branches. And I've actually done 10 sets of these matching elm brush and bowl. And I've teamed up with a blacksmith who forged 10 razors and a soap maker who made a new shave soap specifically for the release of these. And these are to help push the release of his shave soap. So we'll actually be marketing these this month, aimed at Christmas. We'll start marketing these 10 custom made sets on his soap website. But it just turned out really phenomenal. Finished with 3408. I soaked it. I really put a lot of 3408. I'm going to have to buy another bottle. But it's definitely water resistant. It's going to be resilient. It's going to last a lifetime. The bristles will wear out before the handle does.
What'd you say the bristles were made of?
This is badger hair.
What's that?
This is the second highest quality badger hair. The highest quality is silver badger hair, and it's $50 a knot. And I just couldn't see it. I just couldn't see doing that. So these are $12 or $15 a knot, something like that.
Okay. Now, how did
Really
you
pretty.
arrange to get that into the handle like you did?
So this comes actually, you buy the knots pre-made, and they're actually in a little resin disc, and these are 24 millimeter knots. So what they do is they pack the badger hair. Have you ever tied fishing flies?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
They pack the hair the same way you pack deer hair in for fishing flies. They pack the hair and plunge it into a resin, little resin reservoir, and set it in resin. The problem is, because this is natural fiber, no two knots are the same size. You have to custom cut the recess to glue the knot in for each one, because none of them are the same, because it's natural fiber. If it was synthetic, it would all be the same, because they just fuse the end with heat. But I had one knot that actually had cracked because there must be moisture in the fur or something. So that was almost 26 millimeter instead of 24. So that's the only challenge. It takes 12 minutes to turn a brush handle to completion, sanded and finished. It's fast. It's really fast, but it takes another 5 or 6 minutes to make sure you fit the knot exactly so that you can epoxy it in there. But they come already in an epoxy base, and you just recess them and sink that epoxy base in there.
They're already shaped like that, or you have that crown shape on them?
Yes, this is it comes already trimmed. It's the way they stack the hair.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how many of those do you think they're going to have to make?
I've only made 10. We're going to offer custom orders, but we're talking $300 sets because of a hand-forged razor, handmade bowl, and everything.
Okay.
So we'll see. People pay insane amounts of money for shaving brushes and for razors. So I don't know. We'll see. I've made 10. Actually made, I think, 13 bowls before I came up with 10 that I was happy with.
You're not the guy to be promoting them,
Yeah, I was getting
Well,
ready
no,
to say the same
honestly,
thing, Jim.
I shaved this area of my face here. Otherwise, I'd be real patchy and weird. And I do have to say, the shave soap from kbarsoapco.com is the absolute best shaving soap I've ever used in my life. And I've been shaving since I was 15. And I've shaved everything from a spray can to dry at a campsite to hot towel and hot lather at a barbershop in Dubai. And this is the best shave soap I've ever used. And my buddy Chris, who makes it, is a Marine. I'm, of course, a sailor. The blacksmith is an Army veteran. So everything's veteran made, which is really cool, too. It was really a treat to get to work with these guys and put together these kits.
You don't have to separate the Marine guy from the Navy. His check says United States Navy.
You know what? Say that to his face, Dane. I'll just stand back and watch.
I say it all the time to Marines. And there's nothing they can do about it except nod their head and say, yeah,
I wouldn't want to back Chris into a dark alley. I'm just saying.
Well, it's just jar heads and jug heads, That's
yeah,
right.
Pretty much.
All right. Thank you very much, Joaquin. I threw a link in the chat. I did a quick Google search for badger hair knots. So if you want to see what they look like where you buy them, go to the link. Yeah. I don't know anything about the company.
They range. Just an example. You can find $5 knots to $50 knots. It's just it's insane.
All the amount of money you want to spend.
Yeah,
right?
the custom shave supply market is insane. It's crazy.
Yes, I've got one similar, and it wasn't cheap either.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, thank you, JJ. All right. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna go to you, Dane, because I'm out of people on the list.
Wow, we've got 88 people in, and we still only had 22 people have something to show, so that's all right. I'll show something that I've got in process. My first turning post-surgeries. So 2 weeks ago, I started on a little piece of sassafras. I pulled it off my burn pile from the chiminea, and so I thought I'd salvage it. Got quite a bit of stress fractures and voids in the bottom. So dyed it, ebonized it, and then added a little bit of black dye to make it even darker. Used a little bit of coral Rit dye on the inside here. Mm-hmm. And so right now it's just got Parfix 3408 on it. It's not even buffed. It's just got the Parfix on it. Mainly to hold everything together, because once I got down inside, it's only about a 1/16 of an inch, and quite a few stress fractures coming all the way through. And I was pleased that I was able to keep it together, especially considering it was my first piece back. But here on the bottom, because it's so suspect here on the bottom, I don't want to attempt to try to clean the tendon off. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another little piece, and may use a piece of holly or Arizona ash to get a contrasting, nice white color. And I'm just going to make a small beaded pedestal for it to sit on. So then I'll do mine.
I still got a good color there, Dane. I mean,
that's beautiful.
Gorgeous. Oh yeah.
Get it finished before Friday so we can get it in the newsletter.
Well, that's probably not going to happen. I'm working on it. But yeah, so it was nice to get a gouge between the hand and the hip and be able to turn something there 2 weeks ago, and felt really good to be back on the lathe, although I did feel it the following couple of days doing the lathe dance, because the hips they're not healed up all the way yet, so they're not quite ready for prime time on the lathe yet. So that's me for what I've been working on.
Keep working at it. You'll get there.
Nice job, Dane.
Just keep doing a little bit each day, and build up that strength and whatnot. So what you got, Matt?
Oh, I just wanted to grab this piece. I was talking about the shapes and stuff and the bottoms and so on. So earlier, and that's the reason why I asked about why he chose the shape on his, is because I specifically choose the shapes on mine for, I want some piece to float. You know what I mean? So, whoops.
It almost floated.
That's nicely done,
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, well,
Cool.
I mean, I've shown this piece before, but I wanted to highlight the shape on the side. You know what I mean? Just so you all could see that. So, anyway, Brent says he's got something. So,
Victor Todd
wait a
does
minute,
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
Victor
Victor's
finally
back
turned his
also.
camera on. We'll go to Victor. Yep.
Oh yeah, I just made it downstairs. So
Priorities, Vic. Priorities.
yeah. Hey, the dog takes priority. But at least I was able to watch while I was walking. I dried out some vaulted red maple blanks and was finally able to get them to turn. So I've got two sets, a large and a small, of red maple.
Nice.
Here's
Pretty.
the first bigger one.
Ready.
Pretty.
And the bottom's finished on that. I just got to brand it. And these first two were finished with Brad's Workbench products, the tongue roll products. There's the mini core from the inside. I cored them out. I still have to clean up the bottom. I haven't finished cleaning up the mortise on the bottom yet, but it's just got real pretty spalt on it.
It does.
That is a fantastic little piece.
I got this tree from a coworker like 2 years ago, and it sat on my trailer for almost a year before I pulled it off of there. And there's the other set. I slightly OG'd this one at an angle right here, and they're just full of character there. And of course, being spalted there, were the royal pain in the butt.
Seen a catfish.
Yeah, and the last little one is right here. And because I'm just about out of Brad stuff and I need to order some more, I went looking locally. And so these have, what did I put on these? I put on the walrus oil furniture wax or butter or whatever it's called. So these have the walrus oil finish on them.
Seen a buffalo on that one.
And just because I'm, starting to get into that season, I started making some snowmen.
Oh.
There's a little stubby fat guy. I want to try and make some more like this, but have little boxes in them. So
cool.
Nice.
So yeah.
All right. Well, thank
you. More snowmen. That's it. That's it for now.
Thank you, Victor.
So,
we're going to go to Brent next. What you got, Brent?
I wasn't going to show this because it's kind of boring, but this weekend I made one of Matt's and ball end point tool thingy bobbers and such. So following your lead, Matt. So
nice. Good to see
all
you,
stuff to
Brent.
shaft too. That's nicely done.
That shaft sure is shiny there, Brent.
that was a whole lot of shot sanding and polish because that was just hot rolled 3/4 inch steel. So it just a lot of sanding and polishing to get that shiny. So
why?
Nice.
Have you tried her out yet?
I haven't tried it out yet. So I haven't had a project on the lathe yet, but it's still sharp. So I had this thing sitting in my toolbox here for when was it you did the demo on that thing, Matt? I don't know, it's been a year at least.
6 months, a year ago, something like that. I don't
that's
remember.
about how long I've had mine. I haven't got them mounted yet.
So it's been sitting in the toolbox forever, and I thought I got to get that made. So got it done this weekend. So there it is.
Nice. Just remember it works best on end grain.
Yes.
End grain. Well, I do a lot of end grain work. Do a lot of end grain hollow forms and such like that. So that'll be good for it. Well, I'll give it a shot this weekend and such. So anyhow, just you're an inspiration, Matt. So
thank you. So are you. Right. Rob is asking what's it for. It's a hollowing tool, and we've done several demonstrations. Every time I use it in a demo, people ask me about it. So go look on our YouTube channel for how that tool is set up and how it works. Thanks, Brent. Yep. So Dewey says he's got a little something else. So what you got, Dewey?
Well, Christmas coming up, you can make little Christmas trees, and this is something I made quite a while back. But I
Those
thought
are cute.
Yeah.
something that maybe
Very nice.
somebody might be interested in seeing. It's just I forget the wood, but I put black ink on it, and I dry brushed the green on it, and then put the silver accent. And I'm proud of my little star, how it came out. It's rather proportional, I think.
Looks good.
But anyway, I just wanted to kind of show that that's something that can be made for coming up
Nice.
this Christmas. So anyway,
Thanks, Dewey.
Pretty.
All right, and with that, we'll go back to you, Mr. Dane, for
All right.
the next set of festivities.
Next set of festivities. Well, let's see. We don't have Safety Suit in tonight. She's out of commission for the moment with her blood pressure and/or AFib issues. But she's with us in spirit. She says hello to everybody. Wishes she could be here with us. And then with that, we do have a recorded demo on Tap to Play tonight. It's going to be part 2 of the part 3 demo series that Dewey Johnson has prepared for us. And so with that, I am going to turn it over to Dewey. Keep in mind that it is a recorded demo. So put your questions in the chat, and 9 times out of 10, Dewey will be super kind enough to answer your questions real time for you. So
Dane, I don't mind if they would just want to ask them. I can stop.
Okay.
I can
And
stop
that's
it. You know.
Okay, if you can pause it that way, it doesn't interrupt anyone else. That'd be fantastic. So with that, let me spotlight you, and we'll get the demo going.
All righty, here we go. Let me find it. Ah, there it is, right there. Share. Here we go. Yeah, last week we did well, let me unshare this thing right quick. Let's see, where was I? Here we go. I kind of got ahead of myself here. Yeah, last week we went through on this one. We went through how we shaped it, designed it, and how we shaped it. Okay. And so now in this video, we're going to show how we come up with all the nice, pretty things on it. So let's, I'll get started on it right now. So here we go. Here, share, there. And, hey, all righty. I fixed there was some issues about sound last time, and I fixed that, I hope. So anyway, if you have any questions, just speak up, and we'll be happy to address them at that time.
Okay, everybody. We're now at the point where we can start putting epoxy on this. And after we get the epoxy on and let it cure, then we will either put another coat on, or we're going to engrave our little whatever little doodads that we do.
Sound okay?
On it, and then after that,
yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
Coat of epoxy or coat lacquer on it, and then we'll put on our handles and our spout. Lacquer on it, and then we'll put on our handles and our spout. But right now, I want to get this epoxy on here and let it cure overnight so that we can continue on tomorrow. What we're going to be using is this here, like this. It's an aluminite material called clear cast epoxy. Now they've got one called clear coat. I haven't used it, I haven't tried it yet, so I'm going to finish using this. And what we'll do is mix it 1-to-1 with with the hardener and the resin, mix it over one. And I'm going to measure them out in these little medicine cups here. So I'm going to put, I think I'll go with 1.5 ounces for this total. So that's 3/4 of an ounce for each one. So we'll take this, there you go. And we'll squeeze 3/4 of an ounce in there. There we go. Looks pretty good. Then take the other one, do the same thing. There we go. There we are. Okay. There. Now we'll just put them together in a little old plastic cup here. I'll take my stick. Here. Squeeze out as much of this stuff as I can. This has got about 20-minute open time. We'll start setting up about 20 minutes. Which we're going to heat it up a little bit to get it down, so it'll probably set up a little bit quicker. So here we go. All right, we're going to stir this up. When we get down the hair dryer, and we're going to heat it up just a little bit, get it down. There you go. The one thing I forgot to mention is that whenever before you put this epoxy on, be sure that you seal whatever you're going to put it on. Otherwise, bubbles will plague you. So that's the reason I put sanding sealer on this. 2 coats. Well, one thing I am going to have to do is do a little bit of light sanding on it to rough it up to make sure that the epoxy doesn't slough off. Let me get a little bit of paper here. We'll do that. All we have to do is scuff it. Got a little bit of, all we have to do is kind of scuff it. All we have to do is kind of scuff it. And I'm going to stop it right here. This was a mistake on my part. I used too fine of a sandpaper and it didn't scuff it very well. And you'll see why here after a while.
What speed you turn it rotating at right now also, Dewey?
We're turning at about 10 RPM, somewhere in that neighborhood. So here we go. We're going to start it again. Like so. Just scuff it enough to give it something to hold on to. Just give it a little bit of scuffing, like that. There we go. This is 220. Now this is held on by some Turner tape. Whenever the epoxy sets up, all we have to do is just take it off, and then hopefully it won't be epoxy to the decanter. All right, I think we're ready to go. Let me make sure. I'm gonna check, look for swirls, those swirls. Now, I'm gonna add a little bit of black trans tint to it. Trans tint, it's a dye, universal dye that you mix in anything. Just gonna put a drop or two. I don't want to get too dark. You know, I might have got it too dark. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, there we got it all mixed up. It's thin enough. Okay. Little brush here. Okay, here we go. What happened is this, you got to keep this turning real slow in order to keep get the epoxy from sagging and dripping and that. This is turning about 10 RPM here. I guess pretty good. 1/2 ounces. About right. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to go through here and smooth it, kind of level it up a little bit. Get the excess off. Now, there's bubbles in this, so I'm going to have to come back in with a heat gun and pop those bubbles. And level it out, help level it out some too. Let me get my heat here. We'll give that some bubbles. And you don't want to heat it up too much because it'll cause the wood to expand and then you got all kinds of problems. You just want to talk before. And also it helps thin the epoxy down so that it helps you get a more uniform coat. We need to do a little bit of smoothing right here. I want to say the spots that you see on the neck are probably because I didn't get that scuffed very well. And so the epoxy is not wanting to stick to those spots. That's a little bit off here. Nope.
One thing you got to be careful here, if you get the wood too hot, then they'll start putting out air and make more bubbles. So you got to be real careful here. Don't overheat the wood. Well, my little heater didn't work to get rid of those bubbles, if you see. So I'm going to drag out a little propane torch and make a lot of racket doing it. But I'm going to drag propane torch. I'm going to show you a little trick here to get rid of these bubbles.
What I use.
You use real low flame and just fan it real. See, bubbles go away.
There we go.
Magic eraser.
There you go. But you got to be careful. Don't get it too close to that epoxy, because that epoxy will get hot and
It'll
give
catch
off
on
some
fire.
real bad stuff.
Catch on fire too.
So here looks pretty good. Nice uniform. This here is still kind of motley. Probably the spot that you see, it's the spots. Oh, because I didn't get it roughed up real well right there.
And really, this is not the brush to use. I didn't have my brush I normally use at the time, so. Right here,
We may have to put another coat on it tomorrow. If there's a blood out, sand it down. We'll do a wet sanding on it. And we'll do a wet sanding on it. Then come back to that. So we're just going to let it run like that all night. Eventually, it'll set up. And I feel pretty sure we're going to have to sand this down and put another coat on it, because it's just not leveling out like the way I want it to. So even though I sealed it, it may be because of the sanding sealer, but it's not leveling out so bad. So we'll let that run overnight. We'll check it tomorrow and see what we're at. All right. Well, what we got here now, we sanded this down to 220, and we're going to put on another coat of epoxy right now. So Let's start mixing it up. I wet sanded that because if you try to dry sand epoxy, it clogs up the sandpaper so bad. So if you wet sand it, then you can, if it kind of clogs up, you just kind of rinse it off and keep on going. I'm bringing the hair dryer right now, and we're going to heat this, mix it up to thin it down so that it will flow real easily and level out on through the piece. You notice I've got a different brush than I used last time. This is a brush I prefer. Didn't have one of these last time, but I buy these from Amazon and the group are about 12. They're not that expensive, and they work a lot better than that other brush that I use. This flat brush works a lot better in smoothing and leavening out the epoxy. bring out the heat gun right now. Whatever you put the epoxy on the piece, it cools off. And so I'll use this heat gun to kind of warm it up a little bit and make it a little thin it down and make it a little more flowable, which will help it level it out. We've got some surface bubbles here, so I'm using this propane torch on a very, very low flame and just fanning it over the surface of the epoxy to help break up those bubbles. If you hold that flame over the epoxy too much, it gets hot and it starts letting off some pretty nasty fumes. All I'm doing here is trying to get a little bit of extra epoxy off of it.
Still a spot there on the neck that doesn't want to quite get covered. For some reason, I don't know why. I think we're getting pretty close here. Got a little bit of removing excess epoxy to try to bring more of the surface details, shapes out. So, but we're just about there. Okay, that's looking pretty good right there. So we're just going to let this spin overnight and harden up. And in the meantime, we're going to derive our embellishment engravings on this piece. So we're going to go up to the office and do that. So see you up there. Oh, for those of you that may be curious about my setup here, what it is, it's got a little motor right here. It turns about 10 RPM. I got it off Amazon. It costs about 25 bucks. And then the rest of this is just Home Depot stuff. Except for the bushings and the bearings here, these are 3/4 inch. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 inch bushings in here, the nylon bushings. And then you got your drive belts. The main drive shaft comes off the motor and goes over here. Then I've got these belts that I got from Master Car to turn the spindles. I can do 3 at one time if I don't overload it. And so then I keep it tamped down in the workbench when I'm using it because it's front end heavy, of course. But that's just a switch, and then there's push the line going up to an outlet. So anyway, that's it. Okay, here's what it is after the second coat. And so now it's ready for engraving and carving. So what we're going to do, we're going to make some templates. And how we make them is
going to burn them on this tape. This is Scotch 2080. It's a low tack tape, and it's real thin, real thin, and it makes excellent templates. So, well, first we got to decide what we're going to engrave in this. So, looking at our piece here, I think we'll put leaves on it. I think that will make it look real nice. So, what kind of leaf we're going to use? Well, there's different types, but let me show you the leaf that I settled on. Well, first we're going to put the leaves around here in a circle, like this. Make them say from here to here. So let me show you the leaf that I'm going to engrave on this tape. Okay, here's the image I kind of like. I got to this by typing leaf clip art black and white into the search slot on the search engine, and it brings up quite a few images. And this is the one I clicked on, and it brought it up. So this is the one I'd like to use. It looks pretty nice, and it'll be fairly easy to carve, engrave and carve. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this into Lightburn. Copy image. Then I'm going to bring up Lightburn here. All right, and now I'm just going to paste it in here. Okay. Now Lightburn is the software that I use to control the laser for engraving and cutting. And so that's what we're going to use to engrave the tape for these leaves. But before we go any further, do any more engraving or anything, I need to do a little bit of work on this image. I got to do some eliminating some stuff. I got to get rid of the border and one thing or two. So to do that, first thing we're going to do is select it and then trace it. Okay, it brings up a trace. Click OK, and then I'm going to pull the trace off like this, and then I'm going to put the image back over here out of the way. All the work has to be engraved, has to be on this grid, or else Lightburn doesn't recognize it. Now we need to get rid of these stuff here, and also I want to get rid of this outside line because I don't want to engrave both lines because it'll cause some problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that outside line. See, now everything is in motion right now because everything's connected, or what they call grouped in Lightburn. Well, if you look up here, you'll see this grouped icon, which is a light gray with 3 people in it. Well, what I want to do is move over here to this dark black one, which is one person, which means I can ungroup or disconnect everything from everything else there. Now, I'll click on this outside line, this line here, in order to get rid of it. But see, it's connected to this outside line of the leaf right here. Well, I want to keep this stem. I don't want to delete it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break up this outside line and still keep this stem. And the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to go over here to this little icon here, which is nodes. And it brings up all the little nodes on this image. And the nodes actually form the image. All the lines connect to these little dots. So in order to isolate this outside image, I'm going to put a break node right here by just hovering over it and hitting B, and it makes that little green square. And same thing over here. I'm going to hit B there. Okay. So now what we'll do is we go here, and then I click on this outside line, and you'll notice that this part isn't included in the selection. So now I can just delete that. Boom. Okay. Now I'm back to where I need to be, but I'm going to do a little bit of. I'm going to pull this up here like so, and this one here. I'm going to pull up and put it right there. That way, there's no break in the cutting. Okay. Okay. Now let's see. I got to get rid of this line here. Delete. And I want to. Do I want to keep this? Yeah, let's keep it. What it'll do, it'll cut it, and then we'll just use that as a template to engrave that. I think it looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to group it again, and then I'm going to rotate it like this. Okay, good. So our leaf is ready to go. The next step then is determine how we're going to arrange the template in order to get it where it can form with that cone shape. Let me show you something here right quick. Okay, if you take a strip of paper like this, and then you put all our engravings on it, and then we try to wrap it around here. You see, it just doesn't. It crinkles up and folds up, and it just doesn't work well. So what we got to do is adjust that flat piece so that it will fit on this cone. So okay, let's suppose that this is our strip that we got there. And this is a leaf here. And this is a leaf here. And this is a leaf. I know it doesn't look like anything like a leaf. So what we got to do is we got to be able to fix this so that we come up with a 2-inch diameter circle at the top. Well, you can't do it because of the, see how it all holds up. So what we got to do is we take and cut a line here, we cut a line here, cut a line here, cut a line here, cut a line here, and cut a line there. And take and cut there, cut there, cut there, cut there, cut there, and cut there. And what we'll do is once these triangles are cut out, you can put them together so that they start forming a circle here in the middle, see? So that's what we got to do in Lightburn, okay? So let's go back to Lightburn and let's start doing a little bit of work on that, okay? All right, back in Lightburn. Here's the box that we drew earlier. Here's our leaf. So what we're going to do, I'm going to move this leaf down here into this box. Yeah, it's a little bit too large, so I'm going to pause it right here.
that box, the bottom line of that box is the same length as the circumference of the wide part of that reservoir, the decanter. And so I just want to make that clear. This 1 3/4 inches high. Well, let's make it 2 1/4 for right now. Okay. All right. I said before, this length of the bottom of the box represents the diameter, not diameter, but the circumference of the fat part of our vessel. But this top line is much longer than the 5.1 inches that is the circumference of the circle at the base of the neck. So what we're going to have to do is cut those notches out like I showed earlier, but we're going to have to determine how long the spaces between the cut lines is going to be. Well, that's going to be quite simple. That is, let's do an array with this right quick. And let's just put 5 in here, and then we'll go from there. All right, we need to increase the spacing somewhat. Okay, that's good. All right, now, so what we'll do is we will draw a line that is equal to 1/5 of the circumference of that small circle at the base of the neck, which in this case will be 5.1 inches divided by 5, which is 1.02. So we're going to draw a line here, just a line, like so. All right, and we're going to make it, oops, we're going to make it 1.02 inches long. Okay, now what we're going to do is copy this line to the top directly over each leaf. Okay. One right there. B, there's another one. There, another one. Another one. And finally, the last one. There. All right. Okay, let me change the color of this box right quick. We're going to draw our lines into this one to that corner there. And from the end of this one to the middle here. Back up to here. And from the end of that one to the middle of that one. There. And from there to there to there. Just a second. Let me get rid of this blue line here. All right. Continue our drawing here. There, there, there to there. All right. If we were to cut these lines, cut along these lines, that would cut off some of our leaf. So we've got two options here. We can either decrease the number of leaves, which will then make fewer of these lines, which will then make the lines longer, or we can reduce the size of the leaves. I think it'd be better if we just reduce the size of the leaves, okay? So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to move these up here right now.
And then I'm going to uncouple them all, and then I'm going to delete these, okay? And then I'm going to move this one back down here. And then I'm going to reduce the size of it. Let's make it 1 3/4 inches tall. There. Oh. Fit it up there. Then let's redo our array here. 2, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of them, I believe. Yeah. And spread them out a little bit so that they fit within the lines. Oops, go too far. There we go. We got our leaves fitted, and so whenever we cut this out of the tape, then we should be able to get a circle that's by placing these side by side at 5.1 inches circumference. Okay, our next chore is we've got to be able to, if we cut it like it is, okay, then these leaves will just fall out onto the laser bed when I try to pull these off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in and put some tabs in here, which are little spots that don't get cut, to keep that in with the tape. Since when I pull the tape off, they'll come off with the tape. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that on one here. Right. And over here we got tabs. Okay. Just a second. Let me ungroup these. Okay. All right. So what we'll do, over here on the left-hand side, there's this symbol here that represents tabs. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to go through here and I'm going to put tabs here. There's one there. There's a whole bunch that I've already done. So that will prevent this leaf from being pulled out from the tape whenever we pull the tape out off of the resin bed. Now I'm also going to have to do some here too. So I'm going to put one there, 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 and there, all right? So now we've got tabs on, whoops, on these lines here, all right? Now, rather than go through and put tabs on every one of these leaves and on one of these lines, I'm just going to delete all of these again, and then just do another array right quick, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is click all these. Well, you know, they've already got them on there. How about that? Okay, so we don't have to do that. Okay? And then let's looky here. So it'll be real easy to put tabs on these right quick. So we'll do there, there. Okay. Now, what's going to happen is the laser is going to come across here, and I'm going to change this back to the original layer. There. What's going to happen, the laser is going to come along here and it's going to cut on all of these and these lines. Then it's going to come here and cut through this box. So this, that way we can take these wedges out, and then of course the top of these will be gone. So I'm also going to try to put a little bit more stuff in here, kind of fill in the gaps, so to speak. So let me do that right quick. I've got some things over here that we can use. How about that? What do you think about that, huh? There. All right. I think I'm going to make this a little bit smaller and give me a little bit more room. I'm going to make it 1.65 height. There we go. I'm going to move it up. All right, such that then I can whoops, undo. There we go. Here. There. All right. Well, let's do an array on this. Let's make sure this has got, oh, already got tabs on it. Okay. So it's, I don't have to go through that exercise. So let's just do an array here and get that there. And we will do this. Yep. Nope. What I'm going to do is move them in like, there we go. I got it. Okay. So we're still just a tad off. Okay. So I'm going to ungroup this. Put down the tape. The tape I have is narrower than the height of this box. I'm going to have to overlap the tape. When I overlap the tape, I'm going to have to cut the tape at a little higher power or lower speed than I would the leaves and the seeds. So let's go over here to, okay, and this is ready to go to the laser. I changed the layers, the lines to a different layer, and the leaves and seeds to another layer because I want to cut the leaves and the seeds first, and then the outlines second. So I get well, okay. We'll head for the laser, and I'll see you there. Okay, here we are. We got the tape on the laser bed, and laser is all set up, ready to start engraving. So I'm going to punch the button here, and we'll start. I'm going to have to turn on this exhaust fan, so it's going to get a little loud. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. It's just that you don't have to wait 15 minutes for this thing to get engraved.
I'll put it back to regular speed here.
I'm taking these off, but you don't want to cause the tape to twist or fold, because if you do, then you might as well just do it over, because they'll stick together and you'll just be a big mess. So we're going to leave it right there for right now. Let's see, we're going to take, let me get a, I'm here to lift this up. Here we go. What we'll do is we'll take this first one off and put it on, and then we'll follow with the rest. So let me move the camera over here to the workbench. Right there. See what we're going to be doing here. All right, there we go. So what we're going to do here, first thing we're going to do, we're going to put this first one on. So we'll take this off. See the tabs, they just pulled loose. And you take and you're going to put it on just like this, right like that. Okay. There. That's the first one. Now we'll do each one in succession until we get them all pasted on. All right, we got everything on here now. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go over to the carving station and we're going to start just outlining all of these engravings and to get ready to fill them with embellishment wax. So I'm going to move the camera and we'll start doing that. Okay, here we are. We're ready to start outlining these. I don't know if you can see, but I'm using this air-driven carver. Let's see if you can see. I don't know if you can get focus enough, but the propeller, as you see, is real small. It's what they call a piercing bird. But so anybody whenever you see art that's been got a bunch of piercing holes in it, this is what they'll use to do that. But we're going to use it to outline. So I'm going to get going here. Yep.
Switching over to a little ball here to help do a little bit better job of cleaning out these cars. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to kind of improvise and put the other seed over here. And so far looks pretty good. Of course, all this tape goo will take off with some paint thinner after we get everything carved. So I'm gonna shut off the camera now. I'm gonna finish doing the rest of them. And once I'm finished, got this cleaned up, then we'll be back. Okay, we've got it all engraved. And now I'm going to start embellishing it with this wax that I got from Michael's. It's Craft Smart metallic wax. It's a water-based thing. So what we'll do is we'll fill these engravings. I mean, we're really going to really put a bunch on here, then we'll take it off and leave it in the grooves. Okay. So here we go. This is where we do it. Just like this.
You have to really get a lot of it out and rub it in real well to fill these grooves. Yeah, it filled fairly well. Okay, we'll go over to the next one, do the same thing.
Dewey, what is that you're putting in the crevices?
We'll speed this up just a little bit, so that goes save us a little bit of time here. Just a little bit of soapy water here, and finish cleaning it up. It rubs real gently because we don't want to pull the blacks out of the grooves. Very gently, like it. Okay. I think that's it. What we're going to do, I'm going to put this back on the lathe. Whoops, a little bit right there. We're going to let this sit overnight.
let it set up, harden. And once that's done, I'll put it back on the rotator. Well, actually, I'll put it back on the lathe, and I'll scuff it up real good. And then I'll do some detail work with acrylic paint. And then we will put another coat of epoxy on it. And then we'll, once we get that done, then we'll work on the top and the hinge. Okay. Well, see you later. That's the end of that video, folks. If you got any questions, now is a good time that I will be happy to answer them.
Seems like there were a few questions in the chat from folks.
Yeah,
so
we've been
now's
chatting back.
Now's the time to get further clarification for those that have questions.
Now the wax is just a metallic wax that I got at Michael's. It's not that expensive. It's like I said, it's kind of a water-based wax. It makes it easier to wipe off. The thing is, you can't wipe it off just with a dry towel. You got to have some water or some soapy water to finish wiping it off. Otherwise, I'm going to stop sharing. Otherwise, it won't wipe off very well. It'll just stick. So best if you find yourself some embellishing wax. And it doesn't cost very much. You don't have to go out and buy that expensive stuff. You can get this cheaper stuff at Michael's and or at Hobby Lobby and or Walmart maybe, and wipe it off real well and then let it set. It will harden up, to answer that question. And then afterwards, in the next video, we're going to go into putting on the handle and making the hinge and the top and putting the top on. So that's going to be fairly interesting how to make that hinge. So
hey, Dewey, you had some voids and some bad spots on that piece last week, but you didn't show what you did with those. Did you fill them with wood putty and stuff, or what did you do?
I just left them alone. Here, I'm going to show you. The lid fell off. Here's a spot right here. It just filled in with epoxy. This spot right here. And so that's the thing. A nice thing about epoxy is it'll eventually fill in all those little voids. You might have a little bit of a, something like that, but it'll fill it in. And this of course, this has had 1, 2, 3 coats of epoxy on it. So so it's on there fairly thick. So it filled in that void fairly well. So
what kind of epoxy did you use?
I use Alumilite Clear Cast. Alumilite Clear Cast. And there's they got what they call a clear coat, but I think that's mainly for things like goblets and tankards and stuff like that. This clear coat, Clear Cast is thicker, and it puts a little thicker layer on what you're putting on. That's the reason I use it, and I like it a lot. Now, John Williams has some other stuff that he uses. He's the fellow that I got this idea from. He's down in Florida. They talked about it in the chat, but he uses something, and I never could track it down what he was using. So I just went ahead and started using Clear Cast, and I've been using it on all of my projects that I coat with. Like I said, you got to thin it down with heat, and don't get it too hot, or else it'll start setting up on you early. And then once you put it on, then you got to heat it a little bit again, because what you put it on will cool it off.
and you heat it up and it makes it level out. You know, it just nice and it levels out fairly well. So it's that you really don't have much dips and divots and stuff like that, you know. But it also depends upon your substrate that you're putting it on. I've sealed it with lacquer, and lacquer doesn't seem to bother this very much. I mean, so far it makes a nice uniform film. I use a sanding sealer. On this one, I used a water-based sander sealer. And it seems to have not a very good tack to it. And so I've got some cellulose sander sealer. I'm going to try that next and see how it tacks to that very well. Okay. So yeah, I just put one more. Well, the question was, do I put another coat on it? Yeah, after the wax dries and it's engraved, I went back and I scuffed it up with some 220 pretty well, and then I put another coat on it. That way it protects the wax that's in the engravings. So
Hey, Dewey.
yes, sir.
Let me share screen just a second and ask you if this is the wax here that you were using. Is this it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So it's Craft Smart. This is at Michael's. It's Craft Smart Premium Mac Wax Metallic Finish.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, I'll put the thanks. I'll put the link in the chat.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, and they've got different colors. They got turquoise and silver and some other colors.
I see silver and I see a rose gold. So yep. Okay, cool.
Of course, but I think any water-based or wax would work. You know, if you give it time to harden and to cure. I think you can even make your own if you're industrious enough. You make it out of take white clear school glue and white hand cream, and you can make your own. I've done it before. I didn't this time because it's a lot easier for me to go to Michael's and get it, you know. And so, but wax does real well. There was an ask about acrylic paint, but I'm a little bit skeptical that acrylic paint you'd be able to keep it in the groove whenever you're wiping it off. I think you'd wipe it out, you know, because acrylic paint you're going to have a wet cloth to wipe it off the surface, and I think it'd wipe out of the grooves. But it's worth a shot to try just to see if it works, you know. So
I've had good luck using it with pens. So
excuse me, with pens.
I've had good luck using it for names on ink pens and without wiping out. So
it probably worked then, you know. So
you could also use acrylic ink. They sell that acrylic ink. I use that on my Christmas ornaments, and it stays pretty good on most things. Just wipe off the top layer.
Is it thick or is it thin? See, the thing is, you got to be able to fill these grooves with something so that you fill them all the way. And if you got something thin, you put something thin in it, I don't know if you can be able to fill them up all the way. And like on a curved surface, if you put something thin in there and you set it down, then it might run out. So, you know, but we experiment. You know, you never know. You might come across something that's better.
Right. Here at the beginning, Dewey, you were talking about you didn't scuff up the wood quite well enough.
Yeah.
What would be in your opinion, the optimum scuff ratio?
Get yourself some 220 silicon dioxide, whatever it is, sandpaper, and you sand it until there's no shine left anywhere. There's no shiny spots. If you got a shiny spot, then the next coat may not stick to that shiny spot. But you get it and you get rid of all the shine. And it's best to use when you're sanding resin, the best to use wet sanding because use something like that open weave type sandpaper, markers stuff. You can use that and then keep it wet and sand it, and because otherwise if you do dry, it'll clog it up. And then you have to throw away sandpaper and get new sandpaper, where you can do this with a single piece of sandpaper. If you wet sand it, you just wash it out when it gets kind of clogged up.
Right on.
Cool. Great part 2, Dewey.
Thank you.
Yep. Can't wait to see part 3.
Yep.
Yeah, really.
There you go.
Yes.
So
Well,
I
does
enjoyed
anybody else have any
the
questions?
I
That's
enjoyed
good.
the light burn part of it even. I learned something there. Yay!
Yeah, I use a laser a lot for stuff. I'm not very good at doing stuff by hand. So I use, and I'm not a very good drawer. I suck at drawing. So I use the laser to do outlines and templates and stuff off of pictures. That way it comes out a lot better in my
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've started using a laser to lightly burn in my scroll saw patterns when I'm doing scroll saw work.
Yeah.
Works great.
Yeah, but back before lasers come out, you had to use double-sided tape and wrap it
Carbon
up.
paper.
And then once you try to get all the tape off of it, and then you go get you some mineral spirits, and hopefully you can get it all off that way. It was a pain. But I agree with you, Billy. That was a pain to do it that way. So, but
Great
if there are any
demo.
questions? More?
I made 2 pages of notes.
Yeah.
Well, good. Hopefully, I was able to convey some information that you didn't know, that, or you might have enhanced your knowledge on something. So, but next week we'll put it all together. Like I said, this whole thing was from blank to beauty, and it takes a while to do one of these, and you have to wait till epoxy dries, and then you have to, it just takes some time to do stuff. So that's the reason I don't do very many of them, because it really takes a while to do one. So
Patience, patience, patience.
Yep.
Repetition.
Yep.
I have none.
Anyway. Okay. Well, thanks, folks. I appreciate your attention, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you, Dewey.
All right. Thanks, Dewey.
Thank you, Dewey.
Thank you, Dewey.
I think we got a couple galleries late.
Thanks, Dewey.
Up in there.
You're
Matt,
welcome.
did you get them?
I only saw Joe, so and I can spotlight him. We can start with him. If there's somebody else, please let me know. So, Joe, what you got, brother?
Well, I've got my wife actually requested, she wanted some wooden spoons, and now I've got an order to actually make a wooden spoon set for another lady. And I've never made them before, so I started just practicing. Nothing special, just a flat one. I think this is hickory. There we go. It's actually, I found it out in a firewood pile. I just took a piece of old wood and filled it in and just like a little scratch spatula. And then this was out of the same firewood pile. It's not going to be able to be used because it was real pithy or real. You can see it where it's kind of messed up. But I like the wood, so I went ahead and finished it out just so I could put it up for like a display or something.
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty display.
Now, Joe, you said spoons. Those look like spatulas. Are you doing more to them?
Well, I'm just trying to get the shape down and seeing what I could do with them. So yes, I did the spatulas first. There's another one here.
I got you. Okay.
And I've got 30 blanks back here behind me.
Wow.
And I'm in the middle. The handles are pretty much done, except for not finished on the ends. But now I've got to get to work. So yes, I've got spoons, spatulas, one of them I've got that I'm going to make is going to be like you see the outline I have drawn on it. It's going to be like a little scraper, and these are actually made out of oak, walnut, and sassafras. I believe is what cherry is what I got over here.
Wow.
These are just like my demo items. I'm just kind of playing with them, seeing what I could do with them. And like I said, I really like that wood, so I'm keeping these for myself just to have them setting up. I thought it was really nice handle and stuff. I'm, spalting on this.
Yes.
But
Those
that's
would be
all I'm
great.
good. These are just
Those would be.
practices. I'm sorry. What?
I said those would be great to laser something on, to hang on the wall.
Right. Yeah, I may do that. I may do something with it. I don't know yet. Like I said, it's just for me. But now that I know I can do the handles and kind of maybe mess with the shapes, I'm going to start working on the rest. So maybe next week or the week after.
Beautiful.
On your spoons, are you going to hollow them out on the lathe? Or are you going to?
Probably. I've kind of been thinking about that. I'm going to try one just to see what I can do with it. I mean, other than that, it's a hand chisel or something. And I really don't want to get into that. So I'll probably do especially on one like this, do a real deep in there. I don't know if I can spin that on there or not. It might be too long. I may have to cut it off or something to get it on my lathe. I only got a 14-inch swing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'll see what I can do with it, but that's all I got for tonight.
Well, you could probably do it with a Dremel, something like that.
I was thinking about that, but that would probably take me a day and a half. I don't have the patience you do.
Oh.
Can
once
you
you
turn
practice
your
with it, it doesn't
headstock?
take a whole lot of patience. It's just do what you probably do that pretty fast.
Well, I hope. I don't know. I'll try. I'm gonna try a couple different ways, see what works.
Hey, Joe, you could put a sanding arbor on your lathe and use
Right.
that to make the bowl with. That'll save you a heck of a lot of time.
Yeah, I've got a set up for that. I could try that too. Like I said, this is all just tests for me. I've never done them before, so I'm just gonna kind of work with them and see what I can come up with. The wife will like them. I may not be able to sell them, but at least the wife will like them. Maybe.
You could put a ball end mill in your drill press and move it, and then hollow it out on the platform of your drill press.
Well, then I got to go out and buy a drill press.
I'm laughing real hard as I say that. No, don't do that.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of stuff out here, but I got a few tools that I can use here and there. I'll just try a little bit of everything. Like the suggestions everybody's giving me, I'm writing them down. So I'll try a little bit of everything, see what works best.
Hand axe, maybe a hand axe.
Yeah.
She just may end up getting a bunch of flat spoons or flat spatulas. Like, I don't know. It doesn't matter to me.
Hey, I've made two of those that are very similar to yours, so they work real well. So,
Hey,
and
Joe,
if you had a tea kettle, you could steam them up a little bit and bend them a little too. So,
Joe, drill some holes in the spatula and then tell her it's a diet spoon.
Diet spoon. There you go.
Yep. Looking out for the figure.
I'll just give her a bunch of wooden sticks and polish them up. There you go.
You guys are trying to get him in trouble.
Oh, I stay
always.
I stay given. You all couldn't do anything worse than some of the stuff that I do to her. Believe me.
Goodness, poor woman.
That's
Some
why
of us
I'm
could.
spending my time out here because she's mad at me.
I look at it this way: if you're married, you're always in trouble.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good assessment.
all right, well, cool. Well,
be married 3 or 4 times.
goodness, you'd think you'd learn, eh?
No, not me.
You don't like being alone.
Well, thanks. Well, thanks, Joe. Thanks very much. I hope those make everything happy in your house.
Well, if I get made up the next couple of weeks, I might show a couple here and there.
Cool.
Well, you better, because we're gonna come back to you and ask you about them.
I know you will, Dane.
Yeah.
All right.
Even
Well,
if they
Joaquin
fail.
says Joaquin says he's got some stuff to show. So what you got, Joaquin?
Well, I got a, I got a story to go with it. At our club, we've had learn and turn for about 10 years. And, people just come in and they turn a bow or whatever. About 6 months ago, I said, I don't like this. I don't like what's going on. We've got about 5 guys that come all the time. And I said, we're going to have projects from now on. You're going to have an assignment. You're not going to be able to come in here and do what you want to. What do you think? So they agreed with it. So the first 2 sessions, we turned pins. They turned about 30 pins. 4 guys turned pins that never turned pins in their life. And so I was pretty happy about that. And then we did some weed vases. And so I said, who wants to do a pepper grinder? About 7 guys raised their hands, 7, 8 guys. We got 7 lathes in our club. I said, okay. So I ordered 10 pepper grinders. And what's fun, I sent out a tool list, and realizing, there were some beginners, intermediates, and advanced people going to be in this class. So, a pepper grinder, the main hole is 1 1/16 inch. I had 2 1 1/16 Forstner bits and 7 people, 7 lathes, So it went a little bit longer than what I thought it would. But I had ordered them from Penn State, and I wanted a small one. Old Pat Scott did one of his 4 inches I was impressed with. And this is out of walnut. And so they didn't get to finish them, but they got them all together and drilled and put together where they can take them home and turn them. And so I'm looking forward to what we got in our meeting coming up 2 weeks from now. But it was fun to do. I was excited about these guys. A bunch of them went way out of their way, way out of their comfort zone to do this. And anyway, it was good.
That's great.
We had, not everybody had everything to do it with. And so it was slow, but they made it work. And they went home with something to turn it whatever design they wanted.
And that's what they go to those meetings for, right?
Yeah. And so I've
learn something new, right?
It's going to be a project, every learn and turn we have, just not come in and do what you want to. Unless you got a project you want to know something about, well, sure, we'll do it. But it's been fun.
Nice.
That's what I got.
Very cool. Thanks, Joaquin.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's the only person I have left on the list. So
the only person left on the list. I know Howard King has something.
Yeah, but he's not there anymore. So
he buggered off.
Yep.
Look at that. Oh, how about that?
Despite your best efforts, Dane.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's I don't know if you've seen the stuff he's been posting online, but he's got some really nice pieces. Not sure why he's not wanting to hang out to show them. Have to talk to him tomorrow. Brenda, what's the latest on your lathe? Did you get it fixed, or are you just rolling with the commodity you got?
I went to Ace Hardware to get the bushings, the bearings, and they did not have the right size. So I've not done anything with it yet.
Go to McMaster Car. They got everything in the world.
MasterCard.
Yep.
They're online, yes. McMaster Car.
McMaster Car.
Or Granger.
Yeah, Granger would be another one.
So Brenda, what didn't have a size to fit the shaft, or what?
Yeah, the shaft I need is between the 2 sizes that they had.
So
one was too small, one was too big.
But that's a bronze bearing, so you can drill it with a regular drill.
Right.
And
I was going to get those again today and did not have the size with me. So.
And then the other thing you can do is if the outside's, you want to thin the outside down, you can turn it with a carbide tool on the outside because it's bronze. It's essentially a form of brass.
Right.
so you can turn it.
Yeah, that's
Make
what I
it fit.
told a buddy of mine, and he's like, "You can't do that. You can't do that."
You most certainly can, because I've done it.
I told him my buddy said you can. So
Because I can't
yeah, I
find
need to.
I can't
Bronze,
find
yeah.
bronze. I can't find bronze bearings for a lathe that I'm restoring. They don't. They make the right size center, but the outside is too thick. So I just made a mandrel and put them on my wood lathe and turned them.
Okay. Yeah, that was another thing. My buddy said it's going to be too small. You can't put it on your lathe. You know, you won't be able to get nothing to hold it. I'm like, pen jaws, you can. Yeah.
Right.
Or you make a chuck.
You just make a chuck, make a jam chuck.
You make
Right.
an expandable chuck.
Brenda, listen to the experts here.
Right there.
I
an
will. I
expandable
will.
chuck.
Expandable chuck.
Yep. So it's just
Expandable collet chuck.
it's an
Okay. Yeah, I
expandable
think I
collet
have made
chuck.
one of them. I did.
It's a bolt, piece of nylon, round nylon, turn to whatever diameter you want,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put a nut in one end, and that's what expands the nut. You cut slits in the nylon, and that's what expands the nylon.
Right. Well, you know what? I was going to I want to do some more of these cups like I got right here, right? With the segmented, right?
Yep.
So I watched a video yesterday or day before how to make a sled, right? Because I need to make a sled to cut all these pieces. These things take me forever. So what I was watching, it said you needed T-bolts. So I went to Ace Hardware today to get T-bolts. He didn't know what I was talking about.
No, they don't know what T-bolts are.
No, and they didn't have none.
So you can buy
Tell them you need toilet bolts.
Yep, tell them you want toilet bolts because they're the same size as a T-bolt.
Bolts. Oh. Well, see, we looked all down the rows of all these, and I didn't see none of them. I told him, it was a round head. Two sides of it was straight, cut straight off.
Yep.
They're like, I just can't picture that.
Just tell them you want toilet flange bolts, and those will do the same
Or in
thing
the
as T-bolts.
The clamps to clamp down the board, on the slide or the sled. They had no idea what I was talking about there either.
You better find a new store.
You need to find a new Ace Hardware to go to.
Really?
No, no.
Are you sure it was an Ace Hardware?
Yeah, it was Ace Hardware. Yeah. I did finally get the bolts, the right size bolts and stuff to fix my handrail out front on the front steps. So I went in there to get parts for 3 projects and finished one. So I'll go back tomorrow, I guess.
Brenda, did you see the sled that I use for cutting segments on my videos?
I don't know. Well, yeah, I do remember seeing them, but I don't think that's what I found.
With a wedgie sled, is you're limited to the size of the piece that you can cut because the way that they have it designed. With the way I make mine with T-tracks, you can change the size, so that's not a problem.
Where do I find that? Well, it's on our demo, isn't it? On our demo?
Yeah, it was earlier in the month, earlier in September.
That was
Probably
only
got
a
it in my
couple weeks
notes.
ago.
Go to the website under presenters and look for his name, and you'll see the list of videos, and it'll click on it. It'll take you right to the right location.
What a concept. Go to worldwidewoodfurnish.org.
Yeah, I think it's on the main page. I think
don't
it's on the
understand how
first
things work
page.
at my house. I wasn't able to find it. Okay.
I believe it's on the first page.
That's true. At the moment, it should be on the first page
Yeah,
in one
it
of the
sure
top
is.
boxes.
Second tile. That's the jig assembly.
Well, yeah, that's the other jig.
Yeah,
I got the
that's
plans for that.
That's for doing the segments.
Yeah, that's not the one I need. I already got that one.
You need to go to the video for the demo. You'll see it sitting there on the table saw.
Yeah, go to FYI and select presenters. And then all you got to do is go down to Roger. Which one would it be on? Huh?
Oh, well, I went to his name. Presenters. Okay. You can go to Roger. Detailed turning on an open segment base, turning an open segment base, turning a pattern base.
Roger, you have to put another one on wedgie sled.
Well, I use it all the time, so.
Probably embedded in the last one. I mean, the top one.
I could go out in the shed and get it.
Yeah, why don't you do that? We got another gallery item here.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay, so our gallery guy is Glenn. So let's go to Glenn and see what he's got to show us. What you got, Glenn?
I haven't been on here in a while. I did go to SWAT this year, and that's the first time I went and had a really good time, met some really good guys, and some good demos. And one of the demos I went to, I believe the man's name was David Pierce. He did the vases that were like just half the piece. So I had turned one out of this is out of Texas Ebony, and so we're just
Oh,
so
half of a bud vase.
Yeah, the bud
Nice.
vase.
Nice.
Yeah, and so
good job.
Didn't get a whole lot of the heartwood, but the log wasn't as bent as like I would have liked, but it was a challenge, especially the Texas Ebony. It's hard. It was hard, tough to turn, but you do a lot of hand sanding. And,
Yeah, looks good, Glenn. Good job.
And then at our last meeting, Joaquin did a demo on offset bowl. So this was my
nice
my
Offset
version.
rings. Beautiful.
And these beads are they're quarter-inch beading tool I used on this.
Okay.
And it's out of this is out of some pecan.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a good looking piece of wood.
Right.
Which beading tool did you use, Glenn?
These are on the face. I had a quarter-inch Ashley Isles beading tool, And then
Okay.
then the ones on the bottom were 3/16, and these were D-Way.
Okay. Yeah, they look good.
But it really turned, this piece of pecan really turned nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little bit of punkiness, a little bit, but it
Pretty.
but it turned really good. So
Yeah.
Very pretty.
When you guys use the beading tool, do you score the bead first, or is it just straight on with the beading tool?
Well, what I do, I basically score them with my beading tool. Just barely touch it.
So you know where you're going.
Then where you know where you're going for the next one, and you go all the way down, and then you start your beading to depth, and then you already have one line that you know where to put your beading tool in. So
yeah, okay.
And I tried to cut the bowl out to where it just did go at the bottom of the last bead.
Right.
And
impressive, Glenn. Good job.
Thank you. Well, I had a good teacher, good demo presenter.
Thank you.
Nice job.
That's all I have.
Right on. Thanks, Glenn.
You're welcome.
Nope. Look who's back. Look who's back. Slim Shady.
Who? Roger?
I found
There you go, Brenda.
yeah, I found it
Brenda, pay attention.
on the demo now too.
Pay attention. He's going to explain it.
That's your sled.
This is a sled.
Okay.
And you can adjust in here for the different sizes of wood. You know, if you get a 1-inch board, it's not a problem. You get a 2-inch board on a wedgie sled, and you may not get it to fit in between.
Cool.
So what's the track called?
Just T-track.
T-track.
Track.
And this is actually made out of quarter-inch
MDF. Particle board. Cheap shit.
Yeah.
MDF. Substrate. What do you call it?
MDF.
Thank you.
MDF.
Yeah, MDF.
Cool.
What do you use to make the part at the bottom that goes through the track on the table saw? On
You
the
have a
bottom.
cleat? Oh, he's got a cleat. He made a
It's
cleat.
just a solid, a good hardwood, hard maple or oak. And you put that to, go ahead.
And you split the end just a little bit, and you can put a screw in there. And then as it wears, you tighten that screw up, and that spreads this out tight.
Oh.
Got one on each
And locks
end.
the sled in. Wow, look at that. Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
Very cool.
Piece I got on there right now. I've got that part started, but it turned out it's too big. It won't slide through the table saw.
The channel.
Brenda, I put a link for T-Track from Rockler in the chat there for you.
Track.
And there's this 12 segment wedge. And when I set it up, I set it up first on one side. It ain't gonna break.
Roger, don't hurt yourself.
Dude, got to stop laughing. That's not funny.
I ain't laughing.
Anyway, I set it
I
up
was a little bit.
flush with the edge.
All right.
That way, when you make your segments, there's not the big size differences. And if you need to space it wider, when you put the triangle in, you can put a board in here
Okay.
to get the space that you need there. Because if you bring it out here, you don't have as much contact on the triangle.
I'm confused.
Yeah, me too.
What are you talking about on that, Roger?
I'm confused.
Huh?
What are you talking about on that, Roger? I'm hearing a lot of confused comments.
On this?
Yep.
Shit.
Okay, so that's your triangle is for a 12-piece segment.
Yeah.
12 segment circle. Okay. So you slide it all the way up to the end. And that's what you're going to cut off every time, right?
Then you bring it to where you put the other one in. Or you can leave it here and put a spacer board in between here. But you have to make sure the spacer board is square.
I think the
Then
spacer
I've got-
board's getting them confused.
Huh?
I think the spacer board's getting them confused on what you're trying to explain that you don't hang it out quite as
wider
far.
gap here.
Yes. That way you don't, the pieces won't be cut as long, right?
Right.
So if you don't need a 3-inch piece, you can put a 1-inch spacer in there, and then you're cutting a 2-inch piece instead of a 3-inch.
Yeah, I could change this.
Same angle. Okay, I see.
Well, you're not going to leave the wedgie in there when you're actually doing the cutting. You're using the wedgie to position
Right.
second
Right.
thought.
Yeah.
Right.
I see. I
But
can
the
bring
board
it
you would be
down.
putting in there. Okay.
So the triangle is just
But with
setting
the
the
regular
angles
wedgie,
for each of
you
these
only got
support
about that
arms.
much room.
Okay. So then you're going to
When he's
make, you're
talking
going to put
about
a,
room, when he's talking about room is the amount that's going to be hanging out that's going to be going over to meet the saw blade to cut off. That's what he's meaning by room.
The reason for the spacer is just to make the center opening bigger. He's just putting it in to align it for the setup. And then he's
Right.
taking it out. It's never in there for cutting. It's just for setup. And that way it makes the opening at the end wider. If you just use the triangle, the opening at the end would be real narrow. Do you understand that now? You just put it in there to move it. You're keeping the same angle, but he wants to move it out further so he can get a board to go through easier in the center. It's the only
Because the
reason. So
setup
you never
triangle,
leave it in there to
say
cut
for,
with.
say for example, that setup triangle, the small end is only 2 inches for the setup there. And if you're wanting to segment a piece of wood that is 3 inches, you've got to have that 1-inch spacer on there to widen out those segment arms so that you got the same angle for the 12 segment wedge, but to allow for that 3-inch piece going through. Does that make sense to you guys now?
I think so.
Okay.
And you used toilet flanges?
Well, these are toggle bolts.
Toggle bolts.
As long as the spacer you're using is parallel, you're okay.
That's correct.
Hey, Brenda, that link I gave you for Rockler, everything's included, minus the wood
Yeah.
in that
And
kit
what's
that I.
those? What's the clamps called?
Toggle bolts or toggle clamps.
Toggle clamps.
You can pick those up at Harbor Freight.
I ain't going to Harbor Freight.
I got a bunch from
Nothing there is
Amazon.
worth anything. What's that?
I got a bunch from Amazon, like 8 or 9 of them for, I think, 20, $25, something like that.
Amazon got them from Harbor Freight.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
And Harbor Freight got them from Walmart.
Oh, you guys are killing me.
Just whenever you go to the store, make sure you find someone that you're asking that's above 17 years old. Because I know when I go to my Ace, all them little kids are running around and they don't know nothing. If you can find an older guy that's working there, he knows where everything's at.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Speaking of teenagers, I went to McDonald's. I was up north one day.
Good.
And bought me stopped at McDonald's, got me a sandwich or just some french fries, I think it was. Paid in cash. This teenage checkout girl asked me how to give me the change back.
Oh yeah, they don't know.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty sad because the cash register tells them.
Exactly.
I know, right?
Well, I got a better one, Brenda.
All right.
I went
With that,
I went to Taco Bell.
it's just after the top of the hour.
Hey, Dane.
And a heck of a meeting. Yeah.
Light me for a minute on that wedgie board. Okay. What he's trying to say is this is a wedgie board.
Yeah.
And, the way it's built according to the plan. But see, what he's saying, all I can put in mind is this 1.5 inch board because it's not wide enough back here.
Right.
He is able to adjust his back and forth to put wider boards in.
Right.
And that's the whole point. And I like that design, Roger. I'm going to have to build one.
That's what I was wanting to do.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, I haven't cut any segments any bigger than 1.5 inches. So this worked fine for me when I was doing some segmenting. And same thing. I just cut out a 6-degree angle for a 12 piece. But that's what he's trying to say. If you haven't seen one of these wedgie boards before, according to the drawing and such.
We had that wedgie board at the college where I was taking classes, and I needed to cut wider than what that was.
Yeah.
So I designed this one. I'd seen it online. Somebody had a similar one. I said, well, that's easy to design. So, and you just have to slot. You have to make your slot there.
And see, I like that. Now I could get bigger here with a bigger board and make these further apart, but it just have to be a bigger board. But you got all kind of adjustment with that style there.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Right. A lot of leeway.
Yep. Thank you.
As we like to say, a little bit of clearance. All right. So with that, we'll call this the demarcation point for the main meeting, and we'll keep things open for the after hours. For those that are still here that want to say thank you for everybody coming in and hanging out with us tonight. And for those that want to pop off and go ahead and pop off, we'll see you next week. We'll have part 3 of Dewey's awesome vessel demo, the conclusion of that 3-part series next week. And then for those that are staying on, all I ask is that you turn your cameras on and participate in the chit chat that we do here in the after hours. Other than that, good night to everybody else.